pads for the Patriots on Thursday's practice. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar outside of Gillette Stadium, trying to avoid the ongoing thunderstorms there you see behind him. A really competitive day. There were officials out on the field, full scrimmages, and the defense dominated. Who stood out to you?
Well, early on in practice, Sierra, it was Stephon Gilmore in one-on-ones, completely erasing Julian Edelman and Mohamed Sanu. It almost looked too easy for Gilmore as he was mirroring those two guys and almost picked off both passes. But then later on in practice, it really started to become the role players or the secondary players on the Patriots defense. Guys like Dietrich Wise, Joejuan Willliams, Terrence Brooks, making a lot of plays towards the end of practice. And Williams is the one that I want to talk about because he's had sort of a slow camp to start. Obviously, everyone's trying to figure out where exactly does he fit in a very crowded secondary. Well, today we saw him covering tight ends and backs and doing it extremely effectively. Some very competitive reps against Rex Burkhead coming out of the backfield in pass catching situations. And we know that they have that depth on the outside at corner that maybe Joejuan Williams won't be able to crack, getting over Stephon Gilmore or J.C. Jackson or Jason McCourty in that spot. But if you bring him into the box and you have him play a little bit more of like a Patrick Chung role, maybe he can create some opportunities for himself that way. He's got the size, he's got the physicality, he's got the length and the ability to disrupt the catch point with big-bodied receivers. I think that is a better role for him moving forward than playing him on the outside and on the boundary. We saw that plenty here today, and he looked pretty good in that role.
So the defense was impressive. Was this a result from bad play from the offense? I was following along on Twitter with your coverage, and it seemed like they had some good running plays, but just things weren't clicking offensively when it came to the passing plays.
It was a good day for the run game, certainly. Damian Harris opened up practice with a 60-yard run right up the gut for a touchdown. That's how things started, and you thought, okay, this might be an offense-controlled practice, and it quickly changed the defense. And the one thing that we continue to see with all three quarterbacks is downfield ball placement and accuracy. When you go up against a secondary like this, where everything is tight man-to-man coverage across the board, you're going to have to be able to fit the ball into tight throwing windows. And today, Cam Newton, Jared Stidham, and Brian Hoyer weren't really able to do that consistently. So a couple of errant throws for Cam, a couple too high, one of them was too low. And Jared Stidham was missing throws wide left, wide right, and the ball just kind of flying all over the place for the Pats quarterbacks. It's one day. You don't want to overreact to one day, but I think we are going to see this from Cam Newton from time to time, as we have throughout his entire career, that accuracy and 7-on-7 drills and that kind of stuff is really not his game. But getting out there, running around, using his legs, using his arm strength, that's more his cup of tea. And unfortunately today, that type of skill set really wasn't amplified. It was more the precision passing that was kind of, not as crisp as you would like to see.
Well, for all of our Patriots training camp coverage, you can find it on our website at clnsmedia.com. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.
Patriots Training Camp Central is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code MAXWELL20 at manscaped.com. Take your grooming game to the next level.